You know, when we talk about storytelling, we often think about plot twists, character arcs, and maybe even the emotional roller coaster that takes us from laughter to tears. But one of the most underrated elements in storytelling, especially in comedy, is timing. Yes, timing. It's that magical ingredient that can turn a mediocre joke into a side-splitting moment or an emotional punch into a gut-wrenching experience. So, let's dive into the art of comedic timing and why it's absolutely crucial for anyone who's looking to tell a good story, whether it's on stage, in a movie, or even just at a dinner party. First off, let's establish what we mean by comedic timing. It's all about the rhythm and pace of your delivery. Think of it like music. A well-placed pause can be just as powerful as a punchline. If you rush through a joke, you might miss the opportunity for that perfect moment of anticipation. That brief second before the punchline hits can build tension and excitement, making the payoff so much sweeter. It's like waiting for the beat to drop in your favorite song. You know it's coming, and when it does, it feels like fireworks going off in your brain. Now, I want you to think about your favorite comedians for a second. What do they all have in common? They have this incredible ability to control the pace of their delivery. Take someone like Dave Chappelle. He knows when to speed things up and when to slow down. He'll tell a long, winding story, and just when you think he's going off on a tangent, bam! He hits you with a punchline that catches you completely off guard. It's the suspense that makes it work. You're hanging on every word, and when he finally delivers that line, it's like a release. You can't help but laugh. But it's not just about the punchlines. It's also about the setup. The way you build up to a joke is just as important as the joke itself. A great setup creates expectations in your audience's mind. It's like planting a seed that you're going to water and nurture until it blooms into something hilarious. If you rush through that setup, you're robbing your audience of the chance to engage with the story. They need to be invested. They need to feel like they're part of the journey. Let's talk about the pause for a moment. Oh, the pause. The unsung hero of comedic timing. You see, a well-placed pause can enhance a joke exponentially. It allows the audience to process what you've just said, to react, and then to anticipate what's coming next. Think of it as a suspenseful moment in a thriller movie. You know something's about to happen, and that pause is like the calm before the storm. It can build tension and excitement, and when you finally deliver the punchline, it's like a release of that built-up energy. And here's a little secret. Sometimes the best moments in comedy come from the unexpected. You might have a punchline that's so good, you want to rush to it. But if you hold back just a second longer, you can create an even bigger surprise. This is where the element of surprise comes in. The audience thinks they know what's coming, and then you flip the script. It's like a magician revealing their trick. They think they understand the mechanics, but then you pull the rug out from under them. Now, let's not forget about the importance of rhythm in storytelling. Just like in music, where you have beats and rests, the same concept applies to comedy. The rhythm of your delivery can create a flow that keeps the audience engaged. If you're too fast, they might miss the nuances of your story. If you're too slow, they might lose interest. It's a delicate balance, and finding that sweet spot is key. But here's the thing, comedic timing isn't just about the jokes themselves. It's also about the context. The same joke can land differently depending on the situation. Timing can be influenced by the mood of the room, the energy of the audience, and even the current events of the day. A joke that might have been hilarious last week could fall flat today, simply because the context has changed. This is why it's so important to read the room. You have to be aware of your audience and adjust your timing accordingly. Let's take a moment to consider the role of delivery in all of this. Your body language, facial expressions, and tone of voice all contribute to how a joke is received. A well-timed pause can be amplified by a raised eyebrow or a knowing smile. It's not just what you say, it's how you say it. This is why so many comedians emphasize the importance of practice. The more you rehearse your material, the more comfortable you become with the timing. You start to feel the rhythm, and that's when the magic happens. And speaking of practice, let's not forget that timing is a skill that can be developed. It takes time, patience, and a willingness to fail. You're not going to hit it out of the park every time, and that's okay. Each stumble is an opportunity to learn. Pay attention to what works and what doesn't, and don't be afraid to experiment. Comedy is all about trial and error, and the more you put yourself out there, the better you'll get. So, to wrap it all up, the art of comedic timing is a crucial element in storytelling that can elevate your narrative from ordinary to extraordinary. It's about pacing, rhythm, anticipation, and context. It's about knowing when to pause, when to speed up, and how to read your audience. Most importantly, it's about practice and learning from your experiences. So the next time you're crafting a story or delivering a joke, remember that timing is everything. Embrace it, play with it, and watch your storytelling transform into something truly special.